Hello, everyone. Welcome to KMD Information Session Online. I'm Masa Inakage. I'm the Dean of the school, and I would like to use my slides to walk you through about the uniqueness and the strengths of KMD. So let me show you the screen. Here we go. So KMD stands for Keio Media Design. Our official name is Keio University Graduate School of Media Design. We are postgraduate program, so we don't have undergrad. We have master's degree program as well as the doctoral or PhD track program. We believe the importance of creativity. Everything begins to be innovative when we have the power of creativity. And therefore, KMD is an institution for creativity and innovation. Our wish is to design our desirable future. Post-pandemic, we think we are beginning to understand the power of online connectivity, especially during the lockdown when we were physically apart, and we brought in this new platform of online connectivity and became used to this. I think we will continue to use these power of remote connections. However, we also live in the physical reality, and hence the hybrid society is about the power of cyber or online or virtual space and the physicality put together and combined effectively. Not only about the pandemic, but we're also observing a very serious regional conflict that also disrupts the entire planet. And it is time for us to think seriously to design about a much more desirable and desirable future that you want to live in. KMD is committed to this, rather than looking at the exact problem of today and solve what we can do today for incremental improvement of our society. I think we need a very radical transition to have a better society. In doing so, we need to be able to envision what the future would look like. And this is called futures literacy. We need to use the power of digital technologies, including digital media such as this online connectivity, and this is represented as media literacy. In order to create a radically different form of society, rule set, and any value offerings that we can come up with, it requires innovation. And therefore, innovation literacy or skill to innovate is completely part of this importance of working towards the future. So these three literacies are the core part of KMD learning. Think about innovation. It is really about connecting the dots of different kinds. At KMD, we have a very diverse community. Since we have both Japanese and English as a common language, more than 60% of students are represented internationally, coming from different regions and different value sets and different everyday life. All these difference of culture is one of the diversity at KMD. Additionally, we admit students from different background and from undergrad studies. You can see the list. It's not a complete list, but anything from design, art, music conservatory, but also social science, humanities to engineering. Interesting thing is we also had students from dentistry and medical schools. So altogether, students bring in different expertise and skill sets. And that's also diverse. The third diversity is around age group. Our students represent from early 20s to all the way up to 60s. And some students have started their companies and IPO to stock market. Some students currently work for big corporation, serving as a board of directors or at least a manager level. Some students alternatively decide not to join any organization and work independently as artists, designers, architects, musicians, whatever the profession might be. And these real-world skill sets that they have, combined with some of the students coming to KMD fresh out of undergrad, with fresh eyes, creative ideas, but less of the real-world experience, these are creating a very diverse understanding of our society and the future. Also, the age group diversity includes, with the generations have different value sets. Gen Z, of course, the current trend of how digital technology is going to move forward. Also, they are very keen on sustainability issue. So age group diversity plays an important role to make up the entire society to cover and understand. So these 3 pillars of diversity at KMD, because we have such a diverse background students and also faculties, we want to connect them together. So connecting dots, the dots could be students to student connectivity. So you team up. We also encourage faculties to team up and collaborate. The dots could mean different disciplines or expertise or skill sets. So if you're a designer and if you team up with a programmer, and so then you have the both technological background and the design skill put it and make it happen as a team. There are many different ways to connect the dots. We also want to connect the dots between KMD activities with external organizations. So all these different ways of connecting the dots is about KMD, and we call this radical collaboration. Additionally, we have multiple physical footprints. We are headquartered in Hiyoshi, which is about 20 minutes local train ride from central Tokyo, like Shibuya Station. And this is one of the Keio's official campuses. The building that you see on the left is really housed right above the train station. So we are very conveniently located, both going to Hiyoshi, to Yokohama and Tokyo and other places. Additionally, we have a satellite space in Tokyo area called Takeshiba. We also have another place in western part of Japan in Osaka City, right close by the Osaka train station. We also do collaboration with National University of Singapore, or NUS, and we have a center called CUTE Center in Singapore and Tokyo. So with these multiple physical connections, we need to connect them together as if we are in one physical space. And this started from 2008. So from 2008, faculties, when I visit Singapore, I might do my lecture from Singapore and students are in Hiyoshi. Or some students need to travel and cannot come to Hiyoshi for final thesis presentation. We allow them to do so. So these kinds of physical activities combined with online connectivity started from 2008. And of course, during this pandemic in 2020 onwards, we benefited this because that was already part of us. And we also first shifted fully online and closed our physical campus access. Then we gradually brought in the physical activities back on campus and off campus, but still rely on online connectivity. As I said, hybrid society will remain, and this is my belief, that whenever we can use online connectivity, why do we need to do physical activities? Of course, there are things that it's much better to do it physically. There might be better options. Do it online. When you want to invite some great lecturer from Paris or London or New York, they are willing to come to Tokyo. But if they don't have time to do so, we can benefit having them online and then share us their insights. So these combinations will continue to be part of KMD. So you can see the full spectrum of fully online to fully physical, but somewhere in between of combinations. And so these are the snapshots of actually students in the physical classroom working together, connecting the dots. But you also see there are students remotely connected and that they work as a team. April this year, we welcomed a new batch and they were given a sort of an induction period of sessions, and you can see these snapshots. Many of them are in physical classroom in Japan. They were able to come to Japan. For the September batch, we also welcomed them, and they were also, majority were in Japan and in Hiyoshi, but you can see some of them are connected remotely, and this is sort of this hybrid approach that we continue to do so. At KMD, we believe this radical collaboration is very important, but in reality, we are separated into many different types of projects, so we don't always work as a whole group. KMD is about the size of 200 to 250 students and faculties, so that's a little bit too big to work together. So we have a small group units, and however, as one big family of KMD, we occasionally come together as a whole, share our progress of projects, ideas, and implementations so that we can exchange ideas. We see some overlap. We can suggest some new ideas for projects to grow. So that is one of these gathering is called plenary meeting. And you can see this was the snapshots from that. We also do public events, and this is fresh from end of October public event called KMD Forum. This year's theme was around Wonderland, which signifies we want to build a desirable, brilliant, and wonderful future. And you can see many students are working very hard to produce their prototypes and showcase them at the forum. And this was actually done in Takeshiba, the Tokyo satellite space. So KMD has a master's degree program and PhD degree program. So this slide shows you the master's degree program. It has required courses, electives that you have to take, and then the pink part in the middle says introductory project and real project. So this is real collaborative, real project activities. The yellow one and the green ones are more of sort of an in-class kind of classroom learning courses. So these two wheels are constantly working together, and you work in parallel. Some snapshots of how classes might look like. So the introductory sessions, the first semester, for this is from what we're doing at the moment. The September intake batch goes through this right now, and this is captured a few weeks ago, I believe. You can see they are making things, prototyping, creating new ideas for the future, and very creatively represented, and working and listening the presentation as a group. Likewise, from the April batch this year, the second part of the required course called Innovation Pipeline 2, final presentation, they do TED talk like wonderful presentation, but they also do skits. They do lots of booths, exhibits, and students and faculties interact to discuss ideas to strengthen them. So again, you can see the physical activities, but also people are welcome to participate online and work together as a group in a hybrid form. The PhD program works a bit differently. First of all, you have to identify a possible main supervisor for the faculty to mentor you. So this needs to happen before you apply and submit your intent to KMD. If you're interested in this program, please go to our website and look through the faculty list and see the background of expertise. Try to identify someone who might be a good one for you to do your own research. Once agreed and then applied and accepted, then you will become part of our KMD PhD program student. Then you will first work together with your main supervisor. At midpoint, you will submit what we call research proposal, a 25-page document accompanying with the oral presentation or exam. And if you pass, then you become a PhD candidate and you complete the journey of PhD that's written and described in the research proposal and then documented as a dissertation. Because KMD have a very different type of wide variety of projects and research going on, the way of writing both master's thesis and PhD dissertations, we have currently 4 categories. One around social sciences and actually humanities. The second category is around science and engineering. And of course, as the school name suggests, we also have a category in design. And KMD's interest of going very practical rather than theoretical, we have the 4th category called action research. That describes about the actual field action, and that's described in the dissertation and thesis. So additionally, we offer several specialized programs and courses to meet the societal needs, such as the Security Specialist Training Program. Right now, everyone is super interested in talking about security issues from technological point of view, but also political policy point of view, also thinking about how to embed security in your own business. So Security Specialist Training Program is very important, a strategically importance by the Japanese government. We also have a service design program. It's a program around service design, as the name it says. So one of the emerging and sector of business is service, and service design is definitely an important topic. KMD is very global. As I said, we already have more than 60% international students. But if you are further interested in becoming more global, we have 2 residential programs, meaning you visit our partner schools for 2 semesters. The first one is called Global Innovation Design, or GID in short. Our partners are Pratt Institute in New York and Royal College of Art, or RCA, and Imperial College London in London. So our students visit 1 semester in London, then move to New York City, and then come back. It's a purely design-focused program if you want to strengthen your design ability as a global designer. The second residential program is called SEMS. The SEMS program is a focus on international management. So it's a collection of business schools. There's only 1 school per country rule. So we have 1 school in Japan, and that's Keio. There are 30, I think now 34 schools. So I need to update this slide. Our students will visit 2 partner schools. You might go to Paris for 1 semester and Sydney for another semester, for example. There are 67 or 70 corporate partners, and they see some students as elite business students. So they want to hire them as much as possible. So for that reason, they collaborate with SAM's program, and they are doing work together with companies. So again, this is also not only very theoretical business studies, but very practically oriented, so that you can be prepared to become an elite business leader in the international arena. KMD's value is about impact. We have 3 different tracks of impact. One is, of course, as a higher education, academic impact, publishing academic contributions at conferences, submitting papers to journals, so that we can have academic impact. But we do not want to stop by publishing academic papers. We are very serious of creating a desirable future and the society. To make that happen, we really need to go to the field, which is the society, the real society. We are interested in economic impact, which is about commercialization of our ideas as products or services. We are also interested in startup, translating your idea or the team into a viable business unit. We are interested in non-business impacts, which is called social impact, to contribute to societal needs and regional and global agenda to be solved. So when we come up with ideas, we always challenge ourselves, and faculties challenges students, whether their ideas is only for academic interest, or how can they create a story that the idea will be beneficial to be implemented to design a better future. So we are always talking about impact. Ideas needs to be translated to make impact. So we always make things, and it's about products, tangible products, services, content. We also design and make new business models. We make new startups, companies. We also have interest in making new industry, which is much bigger than one company. We are interested in designing new city or district. So actually, Takeshiba, we were invited as part of the design team to make the Takeshiba district revamped and have a new value offering as a district of a city. We also make new legal recommendations and policy change. And this is very important because legal policies govern how we behave or how we are allowed to behave. And so our activities are centered around this legal framework. So by thinking legal framework as a restriction, but as an opportunity, and we need to change the policies to make a better future. Maybe some things are not considered in the past. Now it becomes important. All these making begins with your power of imagination. This is the human ability that I believe goes way beyond artificial intelligence or machine intelligence. We are equipped with this power of imagination, and this is the source of creativity. KMD raised importance of imagination, and we want students to be very imaginative. looking at how society can be changed in particularly the time of uncertainty, we need to understand what are the driving forces. So there are 3 drivers that I believe will change how the society will be. Obviously, the first one is digital transformation that everyone is already talking about, and it started pre-COVID, and now with the COVID pandemic, this kind of a online connectivity, that one of the digital technologies is proving that it is going to be part of our society. So digital transformation is to understand about the cutting edge technology or upcoming possible technologies. And not only understanding, KMD also has great interest in inventing new technologies that will transform the society for the better. Technology is important, but technology is not the sole driver. We are humans, so therefore there are many things that's beyond technology. The first one that I would like to point out is human transformation. Is we as individuals, we have value sets. We think differently, we see things differently, we behave differently. However, this value set can be seen as the driver of how we behave. And if the value set shifts, then our behavior also change. During the pandemic, we got locked down and we couldn't really physically meet each other. Even if we have to meet, we can meet, we need to keep social distancing. And this might continue, but during this time, we're starting to develop new value sets. Okay, then how do we enjoy ourselves remotely if we cannot do physical? There are things that we've identified and started to evolve, ideas around this hybrid society. So each one of us has begun shifting our value sets and our behavior into the new phase. So this is called human transformation. Society is made up of, it's a collection of humans. So individual value sets collectively create the value of society. The societal transformation, the society could be family size to a community, regional community size. It can be seen as an organization, as a community, like a company, or a bigger role of sort of a prefecture in Japan or states in other countries, or even like a country level to a regional level like Asia. So the societal transformation is an interesting one. Japanese company recently announced, one of the Japanese companies recently announced their employees will not commute. The word commute is deleted from the definition, the dictionary. Instead, if employees need to visit the office, every office visit becomes business trip. So the employees can ask for support, financial support for the business trip, and they are allowed to use airplane. So that's a very radical change of community mindset and value. These are happening all over the place at different scale. Many Japanese are now interested in moving out of Tokyo and live closer to the nature, where you can relax if you can work mostly remotely, and if the organization, like company, allows or encourage you to do so. So this kind of a societal transformation is also happening, and these 3 transformations or drivers of transformations are really the key. We want to know how we can trigger the value shift of individuals. How can we encourage communities to think differently? How can we design and invent new technologies and embed technologies in the society so that it becomes also the driver of change? So having said this, we are interested in doing real world activities, and this is called Real Project. We begin from ideating, prototyping and failing and learning from failure and iterations of this until we try to hit the actual society, as I mentioned before. We are interested in today's real world problem, but also looking into the future and trying to work towards future so that our activities of today will lead to our desirable future. We have many interesting, diverse background faculties. Some of them are very academically trained. Some of them are non-academically trained. Some of them are designers. Some of them are business types. Some of them have strong background in policies. So these are collections of, again, diverse background faculties. We have currently 11 real projects clusters, but I'm going to put them in different contexts today. So some of the activities of 11 real projects, we can summarize it as topics-wise, future of planets. Obviously, sustainability is a big issue of interest. And so we at KMD have great interest in sustainability as well. We also have projects around designing the future of society, the community and societal transformation, as I mentioned, or lifestyle, which is also part of this human transformation or individual value shift. And we're looking at communities of senior citizens to a Takeshiba, as I explained, a new district to be formed. How do we design that community to be very creative and innovative and become a hub of Tokyo? We have projects around future of human and senses. We have 5 senses, but can we combine them effectively? Can machines, computers, can sense humans' emotion and understand our thinking? What if we can augment our physical present body? What if we have 4 arms instead of 2? What if we have tails like cats and dogs? All of these can be also extended into how do we design robots, and what is the relationship, and how can we work collaboratively with robots called cobots. As a higher education, we also think the future will be designed by current kids, and so we want to make sure they are prepared to become very active, creative, active adults when they become an important part of the workforce. So future of learning is to inspire kids and students so that they are prepared well for the better future. KMD also have interest in culture and arts, arts with S, meaning it includes entertainment, includes design, includes fine art or contemporary art, includes performances, includes pop culture. As you can see on bottom right, cosplay is a very important part of Japanese culture and art. So how can we evolve the current state of these cultural and creative activities to the next level? Future of communication is a really important piece that we learned over the pandemic, that new types of communication platforms are needed. And so this session is using this, but we also feel this is not 100% acceptable. It lacks many things and it needs to be evolved. So we want to be part of this evolution. These lots of projects are summarized and highlighted in our KMD brochure and our website under the section called Project Stories. If you're interested in more specific topics and how our collaboration between external partners are done, please go to our website or pick up the PDF brochure, read some of the stories. You might be interested in how we do projects in detail. So overall, we are interested in this impact. So then you might wonder, do we have some examples of commercializations and to hit the actual society? Some examples, this is not the full set. A Japanese eyewear company called Jin, we worked together and created a product called Jin's Me. This is an eyewear, eyeglass, but it has lots of sensors embedded, and the glass can understand and sense the wearer's emotional state, like the stress level, and that will become an important piece of information. Now it's become a commercial product. We work closely with city governments, and in this case, in Fukui Prefecture, Sabae City, a city known as a Japanese lacquer industry. They invited us to collaborate to create a new layer of business and branding for the Japanese lacquer industry, which unfortunately was in decline, and we started to work together, and now I think it became very vibrant and successful. We have startups. So when you hear the word startups, oh, it's tech-based companies, and some of them are yes. So this one is an example, Teleexistence Inc. We invented this robot that's remotely controllable, and they are pushing this commercially right now. We also have non-tech-based companies. So this Daily is a lifestyle brand, and they have retail stores in Taiwan and Japan, and so they're selling lifestyle value propositions through these products. So I hope I have convinced you and about our unique activities at KMD and very interesting way of combining different lenses of expertise, value sets of individual students and faculties, and how connecting the dots can create a big potential big impact. So now let me just go through the final part of how to apply to KMD. But after this presentation, I would love to interact with you. So if you have questions, start thinking about questions you might have. And if you do have questions, please type it in and it will appear on my screen. I will read out and answer your questions. So continuing with the how to apply. So how to apply, there are 3 application periods in 1 year, period 1, 2, and 3. And each period, because we have 2 intake periods, a spring intake and fall intake. The spring intake assumes master students will understand, are fluent in Japanese, and for the fall intake, fluent in English. You need to prove the fluency of the language, and particularly for the spring intake for non-Japanese natives, you must submit the score of Japanese N1. For intake, we encourage you to submit the TOEFL or IELTS scores, but we really want to communicate with you in these 2 dual languages. So for each period 1, 2, and 3, you can, when you apply, you can say, I'm interested in applying for April intake or September intake. The closest September or April intake will be assumed. So for example, we will have a period 3 coming up very shortly, January next year. So that's Jan 23. That means April intake suggests April 2023. September means obviously September 2023 intake. For the period 1 in 2023 application period, when you say I'm interested in April intake, it means April 2024. So it's almost 1 year ahead of you. And however, for the period 1 in 2023, September intake is several months away, September 2023 intake. So this is how we work. For the doctoral program, there's no restrictions about when you want to begin, either April or September. And even if you're not fluent in Japanese, you may request to begin from spring or April. The more important information request is that you need to contact KMD faculty before submission and come to agreement. They will issue you a special number that you have to fill in the form so that we can check the faculty has agreed to supervise you if you get accepted. For the details, please go to our website, the admission sections, and there's PDF. The PDF will be valid for 1 academic year between April to March. So the current PDF is valid to cover the period 3 application next month. If you're interested in applying to us period 1, 2, 3 next year, then you need to wait for the updated PDF. Hopefully mid-March, we will be able to upload it for you. So, and additionally, if you're also interested in our GID program and SEMS program, there are additional requirements of documents to be submitted. So please make sure you read them thoroughly and submit everything we expect. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much for listening. And the left side cute characters are K-kun, Mr. K, and Miss May, and the dog, so KMD. All right, so let me close the screen and so you can see me. And let me see if we have any questions. It seems I do have one question. I have 4 projects and 1 section for other works. May I know if I could include multiple works in other work? Will that be exceeding the required amount of portfolio? So anything directly related to admissions submission, something like this question, unfortunately, I cannot answer it. We believe we have described our expectations and requirements in detail. So please read and understand, and based on your understanding, prepare and submit, in this case, your portfolio. Sorry that I cannot be more specific and answer your question. Anybody else on questions? Okay, so if we don't have any further questions, I think we're getting close to the end of our session. So let me say thank you once again. And if you do believe KMD is going to help you to go to the next level, please do apply, and wish you good luck and hope to meet you in person someday. Thank you very much for joining.